But welcome everybody. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button.
I remember in middle school when you felt self-conscious if you were the last one to go through puberty. That really went topsy-turvy, didn't it?
Sometimes the Hasbara, it's too much explaining yourself and it's too apologetic.
Be sure to hit the notifications bell.
I actually do believe Israel won't just bomb countless civilians.
Be sure to tweet this out. Be sure to put this up on your Facebook.
You have to be kind to people. Being kind is the guys in this mess in the first place.
You can put this up on your Reddit.
Chile is a country.
Be sure to cut and paste, a link to this to go into your favorite Facebook chat group.
It's good to see so many normal people in here.
Now, spanking isn't just my deep, dark personal secret. It's America's deep, dark secret.
I've never seen it explained so simply anywhere.
Put this on WhatsApp. Put this on Telegram. Put this on your favorite messenger app.
Hello and welcome to the Untitled Anarchist Seagull channel. I'm your host, an Untitled Anarchist Seagull called Elise, and how's everybody doing today? I recently picked up Adam Johnson's new book, How to Sell a Genocide, about the way the U.S. media, particularly in 2023, 2024, ran interference to basically facilitate the genocide in Gaza at the absolute height of the atrocities, and I highly recommend it. I mean, just in general, it's a good book. It's an important one to have because he does a lot of quantitative analysis, so you can actually really look at, like, how, in terms of the big picture, how the media portrayed a lot of this stuff. And there was one chapter that I think is, like, the best chapter in the book. I haven't finished the book yet, so I may revise my opinion there, but it's a chapter that's really worthy of its own book, because he talks about a strategy that was used by the Biden administration and massively facilitated by the media, whereby when they realized that the genocide was extremely unpopular and possibly going to cost them the election, they started to distance themselves from it and to present themselves as being powerless to do anything about it, appalled by it. There were all these stories about, like, Biden is losing his patience. And the sources were always Biden administration staffers or think tanks close to the administration or unnamed Israeli officials, always anonymous, always clearly just sanctioned leaks in order to create this narrative that the U.S. government, which had a huge amount of leverage and could have stopped the thing at any time, and still could stop the thing at any time, it was just basically powerless. And I think that is, in terms of really getting it across to liberals who already have realized that what Israel's doing is fucked up, and that it's fucked up that the U.S. is supporting them, to really get it across the degree to which there is this game, this extremely cynical game that's played, where the Democrats essentially pretend that there's nothing they can do, no matter whether they're in the White House or if they've got a supermajority in Congress. Doesn't matter. Somehow they're never in a position to act. Really, I mean, you could actually broaden it, because the exact same basic strategy is used for all sorts of things, just as an excuse for the Democrats not to do the stuff that the people who vote for them are counting on them to do, like, provide universal health care, or codify Roe v. Wade, or provide pass a civil rights law at the federal level for queer people, or, any number of things, just like anything, really. And it all runs through this sort of script of presenting them as powerless. And in the case of Gaza, that it was a really remarkable example of exactly how it worked and exactly the role that the media play in it. So definitely well worth picking up. If you've got the money to get it, on the side to pick it up, I highly recommend it. Well worth reading, and definitely check out that chapter. So, who's on their bullshit tonight? Who isn't on their bullshit tonight? Let's see what we've got. So I see if my tea has finally reached. Okay, we are at the temperature we want. Finally. And I think we're going to start out with a shorty but a baddie from Ben Shapiro, who has, by all accounts, begun to be in something of a meltdown. His popularity seems to be utterly bottoming out, and I'm happy to just follow the descent. He's got a video out called "These Stupid People Want America to Crumble," and I want to know who the stupid people are who want America to crumble. Oh, and I love this. In the thumbnail, he's got Kamala Harris, Greta Thunberg, and Hassan Piker, because, like, obviously, those three, I mean, they're like this. I mean, if there's one person that Greta Thunberg and Hassan Piker can agree on is just their bestie, it's fucking Kamala Harris. But okay, let's see what this is gonna be. And as always, let me know if the audio needs any adjusting.
If power comes up against principle, power wins every time for the Democrats. Now,
wow, just for the Democrats? I mean, yes. And what's the principle, though?
Now, speaking of people who would love for the West to fall apart, again, I think that the attack on the Daily Wire is in large part that. I think that this coordinated assault on the Daily Wire,
in the form of just people not being interested in it?
If you can take out the leading conservative online institution in America...
The leading conservative online institution. It's a couple of crappy YouTube channels that turn out movies that bomb so hard that the IDF would like to use them, would like the Air Force to like buy them. And they sell a bunch of, they have a whole grift of like selling razors for racists, and we've got really, really white chocolate and shit. But okay, so, but America's really, America's totally going to crumble if the Daily Wire goes down. So, I mean, obviously, we just have to hope the Daily Wire goes down.
You know an awful lot of damage. There are a lot of people all over the world who really dislike the fundamental principles of the West.
Yeah.
That's particularly true of the left, of course. Greta Thunberg, yesterday, spent her day protesting the deportation of illegal immigrants in Sweden.
Of refugees.
Again, it is amazing to me that the entire legacy media treated Greta Thunberg, I'm allowed to make fun of her now because she's over 18. But she...
Oh, well, also, she's no longer, the media no longer give a shit about her because it turns out that she was actually consistent in her principles. So she is now very much a soft target. You aren't going to get a million op-eds about, like, why is Ben Shapiro picking on Greta Thunberg? Because ever since it turned out that she was connecting the climate crisis to capitalism and to Palestine, and actually risking her ass to try to break the siege on Gaza and stuff like that, the media outlets that celebrated her early on, they don't give a fuck about her now. So, I mean, it takes absolutely zero fortitude to have a go at her at this point.
She was a child.
And Ben Shapiro has zero fortitude.
Basically a child soldier for the left. She'd go out there,
a child
and if you
soldier.
Pointed out that what she was saying made no sense, you were attacking a child. Well, now she's an adult, which means...
Well, no, but the thing is that it wasn't that you were attacking a child. There was also that, but also you were full of shit.
I can mock her and her stupid beliefs. But the movement to destroy...
except you really can't. You have demonstrated you're not very good at that.
This is not relegated just to the United States, obviously. Here is Greta Thunberg protesting the deportation of illegal immigrants in Sweden.
Well, that's deplorable.
Well, that's deplorable.
In Sweden, people who came here as children, grew up here and built their entire lives here, are now increasingly being deported without their families.
Yeah, okay, so what we're talking about is people who in any reasonably organized system would be citizens. like, would have been citizens. This is literally, like, okay, Sweden is literally the only place they know, it's worth noting. So obviously, it's absolutely terrible that somebody would be protesting about kicking them out of the country. To go someplace, it's worth noting, a lot of them have never been, where they may not speak the language even, where they don't know anyone. Like, I mean, obviously, fuck Greta Thunberg for caring about that. Why would anyone give a shit about that?
To countries they have no connection to, and that are very much not safe for them to be in.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing. They're often being sent back to places where they're likely to get killed. And it, like, would be likely to get killed even if they had connections, even if they knew people, even if they knew the language and knew their way around, but they don't, so, like, they are in maximum possible danger.
And these young people did not do anything wrong. They followed the path given to them, and are especially children of labor migrants who, upon turning 18, now risk losing the right to stay here. And this is in light of Sweden becoming increasingly hostile and racist in its migration politics, like so many other parts of the world.
See, I have to say, I don't know that Ben is doing himself any favors by showing this. Because, like, especially by showing it unedited, because, like, she's making it clear, this makes it clear that this is, like, literally not the sort of people that people, for the most part, freak out about. Except for, like, your really hardcore racists. And admittedly, a lot of your really hardcore racists are Ben Shapiro fans, but you have some, you know, racist, you know, white supremacist light assholes too, who might be like, I don't know about that one. So I don't know about actually, like, him showing this. Yeah, and he did leave out the part. She was about to explain that Sweden was negotiating with the Taliban to take Afghan refugees back. People who, like, fled the Taliban and fled the U.S. occupation. So Sweden is going to send people back there. Refugees.
Again, this is a woman who has lived off the largesse of the richness of Western society and has spent her entire teenage years and now young adulthood protesting the West that made her famous in the first place. Right?
Okay.
It is a lady who gets on boats and floats her way across the Mediterranean.
I mean, that is what boats generally do, is they float.
To try to enter Israel, whereupon she's...
Oh, well, no, she's not trying to enter Israel, though. She's literally not trying to enter Israel. She's trying to break the siege on Gaza. Is there any reason you don't want to mention that?
Immediately put back on an El Al flight out of the country, or she's the one...
Well, I mean, that is not immediately. She was brutally tortured and sexually assaulted first.
Who is getting herself fake arrested for the cameras, and yet she's there. Are saying that what really needs to happen is, again, the mass migration invasion of the West.
The mass migration invasion. Like, I mean...
Not relegated to Europe, of course. You got Hassan Piker.
These people were already there. They literally grew up there.
Over here in the United States, embraced by a wide variety of top-level Democrats.
I mean, they literally have spent the past couple of weeks scaremongering about him. Scaremongering about how dangerous he is for the party because, like, he represents things that their voters want, and anyone of them who stands next to him is going to look worse for it.
He spent yesterday lecturing Democrats not to engage in what he called China hawkery. Quote, Democrats, do not try to engage in China hawkery.
Yeah, you just said that. Okay.
Please do not repeat your mistakes. The best and only path forward is peaceful coexistence and cooperation.
Okay, and you would like to see a full-scale war with China, would you, Ben? Because the one with Iran is going so well? Like...
Yes.
Like, wait a second. Okay, so the guy who's saying maybe we should try to coexist peacefully with China is the one who wants America to crumble, but, Galaxy Brain over here... Ben Shapiro, he understands that actually starting some shit with China that the U.S. can't finish because they can't even finish the shit they started with Iran. That totally isn't going to make anything crumble.
Your new masters. Love your new Chinese masters, says the guy who was literally in China talking about the glories of Mao Zedong.
Wow, he was literally in China. He literally went to China.
And there are a lot of people in the West, homegrown and imported, who really, really do not like the West. Do not like it one
Well, I wonder if that's anything to do with what the West is doing.
bit. Like, at all. Now, Democrats are imbibing from this well. They've decided that it's important.
They're imbibing from the well. They're imbibing from the well, y'all.
To redo all the institutions of America to enforce these political principles from above. Kamala Harris yesterday, who again will not go away. It's kind of amazing.
I mean, it is true. It is amazing that she will not, like, that she's still trying to make Kamala happen. That is true. I kind of have to give him that one.
I don't know.
But that's because, I mean, there's no such thing as disgrace. There is just no such thing as disgrace in U.S. politics anymore. Not just the U.S. In Britain, in Western Europe. It is really remarkable. I mean, because, like, I'm old enough to remember when Nixon was still alive. And the reason that I bring that up is because nobody gave a fuck about Nixon. You never heard what Nixon had to say. You know, they would ask, you know, sometimes they would take an interest in what former presidents had to say about one thing or another. You never heard shit from Nixon. Nixon was just gone. I mean, he was alive. He wasn't wanting for money, certainly. He probably had some sort of little hustle going on there. I have no idea what it was. It was probably crooked. But in any case, nobody gave a shit about Nixon. You never heard from him. He was just, nobody wanted to be associated with him. Nothing. Now, like, people who were involved in much worse scandals than Nixon was involved in. Much worse than Watergate. Much worse than any of that. Any of the things that actually essentially got him declared persona non grata amongst, like, the U.S. ruling class. At least, you know, not somebody they want to be visually associated with. You can't get rid of them. They're just constantly there. Like Bill Clinton, will never shut the fuck up. Al Gore recently, I heard, it's like, why? Who asked for us to hear from fucking Al Gore? Or like Rahm Emanuel, the extremely corrupt mayor of Chicago, and also extremely corrupt White House chief of staff under Obama. Absolute piece of shit. Nobody likes him. You know, utterly disgraced. He was caught in all sorts of dodgy criminal shit. And not just no accountability, no charges, no investigation. He is still treated like somebody whose opinion we have to care about. 你好吗？我好，谢谢你。
Why she thinks she's going to be president? Because, again, she ran and she lost, but she ain't going away. She says she wants to have a no bad ideas brainstorm.
Well, first of all, that's okay. I see. She said that's. I was gonna say that's an oxymoron, but actually it's redundant because I believe what that's supposed to mean is that you do a brainstorm, and no ideas off limits. But that's the whole point of brainstorming. The whole point of brainstorming is that no ideas off limits, and you just say what comes to mind, and maybe something good comes out of it.
Just gonna point out at this point, there are tons of bad ideas. And truly, there are a lot of bad ideas.
Of course, he manages not to notice those.
Whenever a teacher says there are no stupid questions, there are stupid questions.
He knows he asked them.
And there are also stupid people. And there are also bad ideas. And there are also bad people. And turns out...
I mean, yes, you're a bad person with bad ideas. You would know.
All of them come together in this little clip from Vice President Kamala Harris.
I mean, yes, she's a bad person with bad ideas, too. But, like, the point of I mean, I've never heard that phrase, but obviously what that means is it's just what brainstorming is. Like, anyone who's ever done brainstorming, who's had the concept explained to them knows the whole point is you just say what comes to mind. There are no bad ideas until you get to the point where you actually start evaluating stuff, and then you say, okay, maybe that thing was shit.
This is a moment where there are no bad ideas. No bad idea brainstorm is what...
Wait, no bad idea? Well, I mean, I seem to remember you completely shooting down the idea of, I don't know, ending the genocide.
What I'd like to call it.
Okay, so how about universal health care, repeal the Patriot Act, and just straight up cut the Pentagon budget to shreds, disarm the cops. I mean, we're having a no bad ideas brainstorm, right? So why don't we talk about ideas that... Why don't we start with good ideas?
And in that no bad ideas brainstorm, we talk about what we need to do and think about doing around the Electoral College. We talk about the idea...
I mean, get rid of it. Isn't that fucking obvious?
Yeah, of Supreme Court reform, which includes expanding the Supreme Court. We invite a conversation about multi-members districts. Let's talk about statehood for Puerto Rico and D.C.
Well, let's talk about it. I mean, it's interesting what things are like not off limits and what things are. This is like a realization that they have to actually appear to do something, because the last time when they were in a position to actually do something about expanding the Supreme Court, they rejected it out of hand. They said they would not seriously consider it because it might politicize the court, like fucking God forbid.
These are the things I think that we've got to do. We've got to neutralize these red states from cheating, including blue states expanding their maps. And all of this, I think, is look, we got to fight fire with fire. These folks are playing to win. We got to play to win, too.
Well, okay. How about arms embargo on Israel, universal health care, disarm the cops, free university, and complete unconditional student debt forgiveness? Like, you would not actually get to see what color the Republicans were on the map. So, I mean, they're no bad ideas, right?
Again, the idea that the far left is going to implement...
What far left? We're talking about Kamala Harris. She's not even the left.
Vision. Through terrible ideas like Supreme Court expansion or randomly adding states in order to remake the Senate.
Randomly adding states. Like, nobody ever thought it, like, apropos of nothing. Like, what the fuck is DC anyway? That's just some random thing out in the South Pacific or something. Like, randomly adding states? I mean, that's been a discussion easily for decades.
Now, this is dangerous.
Yeah, free public housing. I mean, again, they're no bad ideas, right?
Truly dangerous stuff. Folks, privacy isn't something that just happens.
It's something that the people he works for want to get rid of.
Illinois, he is comparing the Supreme Court to the KKK. He has it.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Today is their use of the race card. So this is pretty funny. The Democrats have decided that the way they are going to run in the midterm elections is to claim that Republicans are racist.
I mean, are they also going to claim that water is wet? Like, what's controversial about that?
Redrawing electoral maps.
Well, I wonder why somebody would think it was racist to redraw electoral maps specifically in order to ensure that to eliminate black majority districts. I wonder why anyone would think that was racist.
Representative Sean Casten of Illinois, he is comparing the Supreme Court to the KKK.
Well, I mean, I wonder why. Did they do something racist?
Yes, including presumably Clarence Thomas, the most conservative justice on the Supreme Court who is black.
And is a close associate of a guy who has spent inordinate amounts of money collecting authentic Nazi memorabilia, which he displays proudly in his villa.
Now, Chief Justice Roberts has said that we now live in a colorblind society, to which I would ask you all, does your answer to those questions depend on whether their robe is white or black? Because make absolutely no mistake, the agenda of this Supreme Court and the agenda of the Klan are far too similar.
The Supreme Court and the Klan have the same agenda.
I mean, I think that they probably have a fair bit of overlap. Ben Shapiro and the Klan have the same agenda on a lot of points.
This is what Democrats are going to run on. Gavin Newsom saying the same thing. Gavin Newsom,
which is ironic because he and the Klan also have a lot of the same agenda points.
who will say anything to anybody, the governor of California, he says that Republicans right now are engaged in Jim Crow 2.0. They need a new line, by the way. They've been using this Jim Crow 2.0 crap.
No, it's weird how people keep pointing out when racists do racist shit. I mean, could they stop pointing it out just because racists keep doing racist shit? We should have a limit on how many times you get to point out that something is happening. Like, for example, if there are 5 sunny days in a row, you don't get to point out in the weather report that it's sunny. You have to say it's rainy. Because otherwise, I mean, what are you fucking doing? That's just overdoing it.
For decades. Aren't we at least at like 3 or 4.0? When's the next upgrade? When do we get Jim Crow 5.0? How does this work? And then he says anti-woke.
Wow, that was a real zinger.
Is anti-black. So you thought...
Well, yes, it is. Wait, you're surprised to hear that, are you?
Woke was dead. Wrong you are. Democrats are going to bring it back with a vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, for most people, it never was dead. Yeah, I mean, his eyebrows are caterpillars, and one day they will become, like, shitty racist butterflies.
This is Jim Crow 2.0. It's sick. Stone cold racism in a scale I never thought I'd see in my lifetime.
But and he has tried to do some stone cold racism. Gavin Newsom has. Like, I mean, the one thing you can actually, the one thing you can't, yeah, you have to hand him is that he is a connoisseur of racism. He's been doing it his whole entire fucking career. I mean, it is ridiculous to watch him pretend that he has anything against this, except that it harms him politically.
Never have seen
The man stands for absolutely nothing except whatever fucking billionaires tell him they want on a given day.
Lifetime. It's all happening. Bring us back to a pre-1960s world. It's jaw-dropping what's happening. It was jaw-dropping what Governor Landry did. He suspended a primary election where tens of thousands of people had already voted. Why? To redistrict 2 districts to eliminate black representation.
I mean, and the thing is, and this is, I think, why we're starting to hear things like, Supreme Court expansion and stuff like that. It's because these politicians realize that if it becomes clear that voting is like not even theoretically has a point because of the level of gerrymandering and voter suppression and all that sort of shit, then that safety valve of the system goes away. People aren't going to stop fighting for the things that they want to fight for. People aren't going to stop, wanting a decent life. People aren't going to stop wanting to just stop having this fucking economic hemorrhage that they've spent their entire lives in. But if you get rid of this escape valve that takes the pressure off by, okay, you can vote for Democrats and Democrats are going to do that, except not really, then people are going to find other ways to do it. I mean, the thing is, people did not win the vote by voting in the first place. And even if they'd like us to forget that, they certainly know. Oh, God. Yeah, any Bill Clinton is too much to channel, actually, I would say.
Can't believe that we're experiencing this. My parents talked to me about this. I said, well, thank God it's not going to happen on my lifetime.
When did his parents talk to him about this? How old is Gavin Newsom, anyway? Born in 1967. Born in fucking 1967, 3 years after the fucking Civil Rights Act. His parents talked to him about this? He said, thank God that's not gonna happen. Like, this was just, like, Jim Crow was not even over. The original Jim Crow was not even really properly over when he was growing up. It was only just starting to end. And he said, like, and he's talking about this like it was ancient history when he was growing up. Like, what the fuck is that?
And it's happening in real time. Anti-woke is anti-black.
Yes, I mean, motherfucker, you've been anti-woke too, it's worth noting. Oh, but he's good anti-woke because he's like he only agrees with Nazis on trans people. So that's okay.
Woke is anti-black.
Yeah.
Again, you thought the wokeness had gone. Wrong you are. The threat
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're watching Ben Shapiro and you thought that wokeness had gone because, like, rich people stopped pretending to give a shit about it, well, then you really should take that up with the people who sold that idea to you, like people like Ben Shapiro and the fucking Twattering and Tim Pool and the rest of them, because it seems like maybe they misinformed you a wee bit.
Is ever present. But here's the thing, it's all a power play. It's all a power play. Hilarious article in Politico today about whether Democrats really care all that much about black voting power. And here is what the article says. Apparently, in theory, Democrats would love to maintain majority-minority districts. However, if they are reminded about the context of the Supreme Court ruling that said that you're not supposed to be drawing racial districts.
Yeah, except, I mean, the Supreme Court ruling has made it clear that they are fine with some kinds of racial districts.
And Republican gerrymandering, which is to say the drawing of more Republican districts. Suddenly, a 45%...
Oh, is that what it means? Just the drawing of more Republican districts? So, it just, like, sort of by magic. There isn't any kind of, like, a bullshit going on there, is there? Oh, he has a video here called All the Haters Can Kiss My Ass, where he shows a couple of headlines. New York, why Ben Shapiro's media empire is collapsing, and inside Ben Shapiro's MAGA meltdown. And, I mean, I'm kind of tempted. I had another thing I was thinking of watching after this, but that is very tempting to me. That is... We might come back to that. I'm going to just stick a pin in that real quick.
Well, hello, Em.
Yeah, we're going to save that. Because what I was going to look at might turn out to be boring. And then we could have a look at All the Haters Can Kiss My Ass. But... apparently, Sex Pestiny decided that we absolutely needed to hear his thoughts on Brianna Joy Gray versus ContraPoints. And I'm sure that's going to be edifying. Hey, Riveroon. Okay, so here we go. We haven't looked at Sex Pestiny in a while. He's another example of how there's no such thing as fucking disgrace.
Would you say that we should vote for 2016 Donald Trump?
Like, because all the shit that he got caught out doing, and he still has a... How many subs does he have? Like, has that hurt him any? 870,000 fucking subs. Yes, that is... that wasn't the video we were just watching. That was called These Stupid People Want America to Crumble. And one of the reasons that he thinks that Hassan Piker wants America to crumble is that Hassan Piker is suggesting peaceful coexistence with China rather than the big brain idea that Ben Shapiro has, which is apparently to start another war the U.S. can't finish, because that's totally not going to make the U.S. crumble or anything. But yeah, he's got another video, which we may yet switch over to, called All the Haters Can Kiss My Ass, which is just giving... Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriffssteiner war ein Befehl! We may come back to that yet. We'll see how this one goes.
Because his first term was better than his second term?
That was the easiest no-brainer in the world. If somebody was like, should we vote for if the two candidates were Donald Trump first term or Donald Trump second term? I'm literally tripping over myself.
It's the same guy, though.
And I'm making every single illegal immigrant I know run to the polling places to vote for Donald Trump first term. What an unbelievably fucking retarded question. It's such a stupid... I wonder if Contra has the same thoughts I was going to say. Why the fuck am I even having to explain right now?
I don't know, but it's probably something that you really shouldn't be the one to explain, and probably not something you have a very good grasp on, because you're sex pastony. Another one of these motherfuckers who's just confidently wrong about things.
Elected mayor don't have the luxury of attacking every single fucking person in the country that you think isn't as ideological peer as you because you're trying to fucking run your constituency. You're trying to run your, you know, whatever you're elected to govern. Like, it's such...
Whatever you're elected to govern. I wonder what a mayor is elected to govern. It must be a country.
Obviously.
Do we have more leverage against Kamala Harris before she's elected or once she's president for 4 years?
Well, in this, I mean, I see what you're saying, like as like a protest voter threat, but
it really depends on what exactly you're talking about. Like
leverage, okay, any kind of leverage. Take it however the fuck you want. Leverage, you know, being able to make somebody do something that they don't necessarily want to do, but you would very much like them to. Leverage.
That's such a one-dimensional... I hate how she smugly smiles because she knows she's fucking lying to the audience. So
She isn't lying to the audience, though. And again, I will say what I said when we were actually looking at this thing. What the hell just happened? There's not sufficient disk space to continue recording. Damn it. Okay. Just a second, I have to fix a couple of things here. Damn it. No. That was not what I was trying to do.
I will be the young...
Hang on. I know this is very edifying for all of you, but I apparently have run out of disk space. Everything is fucked up. Hang on, I'm gonna have to restart fucking OBS. I'm sorry about this.